Hey everybody, MKTG here. So today I'm actually going to be doing a how-to video. I'm going to be snapping 3 pictures and I'm actually going to be editing them with you guys in Lightroom. Let's get to it. So with COVID and stuff, I'm actually just going to be shooting some basic photography around my house. My little boy's not feeling good right now, and so I'm just going to be doing some basic photography, like I said, just around my house. So right away, what I've got set up right here is we actually just bought this new candle wax melter. I've got a window for some natural light to come in here, and have my camera set up here on a tripod for a good steady picture. It's actually looking pretty cool. So I came up here, I turned it to manual. If you're a beginner photographer, I recommend shooting in audio. So you can just kind of get the gist of it, but when you get a little bit more experienced, turn it to manual. So my settings that I have right here, I have my f-stop at 9, shutter speed at 1/800, and my iOS at 500. Something I very recommend is your iOS. Your iOS is what controls how much light is allowed to come into your lens here. So I've turned mine down way low, and even though it's really bright, I'm taking this picture and I'm just getting that nice soft glow, and when we edit in Lightroom here in a little bit, it's gonna look awesome. So I'm gonna take the picture right now. There we go, on to the next picture. So for this next shot here, I have some natural light coming in through the wind blinds. I'm actually just gonna be taking a picture of our family dog. And so, going back to manual, I did have to adjust my, let me get that focused for you, my shutter speed. I did open it, make it a little bit faster so it would open up and allow more light in. I also changed my f-stop down to 5 here, as you can see. And I've also actually had to open up my iOS to allow a lot more light to come in. The dog is not a natural light as itself, and so allowing light to be put on the dog to allow the color, we're gonna be able to touch that up in Lightroom. So, and just real fast on this camera here, this button in the front here, this is how I changed my f-stop, so I changed my shutter speed, and then iOS is just, get that in focus, it's just this little button right here. So we're gonna take this picture right here, make sure it's all focused. Picture 3. So this last picture, I'm actually gonna wait till dark, and then I will snap that, and then we're gonna go and edit them in Lightroom. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So my last picture that I took, it was so dark outside that I was not able to fully capture with my other camera. It was just too dark, couldn't really pick up anything. And so I just took the picture, and we're just gonna review it on here. So this is the first picture we took of that wax melter that we got, and I'm actually pretty satisfied with what we got. This is the raw picture right here. So I've just uploaded it into Lightroom, and then I'm able to hit these 3 little bars over here at the top. Hit these right here, and then I can kind of edit and tweak some things to make the picture look a little bit more appealing. So the exposure, I actually really like the exposure. I wanted this all dark around here so you couldn't see everything on the kitchen table and stuff like that, or the counter and stuff like that. I wanted more of the beauty to be the light that this is putting off right here. So I'm actually going to go to highlights, and I'm going to try to push it up a little bit to try to make it the highlights a little bit more popish. So if I bring it too far, then I can just tell that it's almost too bright. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit, probably around 60. And I really like how that's kind of brought out the light a little bit. Contrast, we can make it a little bit darker. I don't want to make it any more darker. I do kind of want to have the edges shown a little bit. You can see the light reflection on the table. I really like that. So we're actually going to make it a little bit lighter and bring it this way and leave it right there. So whites and darks, I can pretty much go through. I can tweak the exposure a little bit, contrast, highlights, the shadows. I can make these shadows, you know, kind of pop out more, kind of go away, kind of thing like that. So we're just going to be tweaking this a little bit to just really not add so much that the picture looks fake, but just little minor tweaks that just help certain colors and certain lights and things come out that make it more appealing to the eye. So I can come down here in Lightroom. I can look at color, temperature, put saturation in. I don't know if Yeah, see, saturation's really gonna bring and make it look that mustardy color and take it away. I'd say maybe add just a little bit of saturation, just give it a little bit of that color. And something else too, something I always like to do with a lot of my pictures is sharpening. Make the picture look sharper, not sharper. As you can tell, since this is a darker picture, it really isn't gonna make a lot of a difference. So I'm just gonna bump it up a little bit. Also texture. Texture is also a really good one I like. I pull up texture and I'm able to bring these things out over here, but I really don't. I really want to focus my texture on there. So I'm gonna just pull that back. Ooh, if I pull up clarity a little bit, I'm able to bring this whole kind of light from the desk right there. Now, I'm pretty satisfied with that picture. I like how it looks. I haven't really tweaked a lot of stuff to like added a lot of stuff. That's basically what I wanted right there. And this is completely basic picture editing right here. So there's a lot of other things that we can do, but this is just a basic picture snapping. So let's go to our next picture. So Bambi the dog right here. So first and foremost, I kind of want to resize this picture. So I'm going to be coming over here to this button here. I'm going to click it. And I'm going to kind of pull this over a little bit. I don't really want Bambi directly in the center of the picture, because usually when things look perfect, they look unnatural. So I'm going to kind of push her up to this top or left hand corner here. Maybe just put the very tip of her ear in there. Got my wife's tattoos in there. Okay, now we're going to click off that. I'm going to flip back over here. So this is what our picture turned out to be. And just by looking at this, I can kind of tell that there is more focus on certain parts. So immediately I'm going to scroll all the way down and I'm going to bring up the sharpening a little bit to get rid of those. I'm also going to pull up masking a little bit. It's going to help with those color durations and stuff like that. And then also I want to bump up texture. Make it look a little, her face. It's going to make, yeah, pulling her face out a lot more. And then let's probably pull up clarity a little bit too. So, whoa, that makes a huge difference. You can see that she obviously has some white hairs on her fur. If I bump clarity up at all, it really just makes them pop. So again, I don't want to edit too much to make this, you know, obviously that looks fake. That's not what I want. So I'm going to be pulling this up just a little bit. Probably right there. Scroll back up to color. So Bambi she's got brown, she's got white. She does have quite a bit of color in her. And so I can make those colors really, really pop. First and foremost, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to probably pull the highlights off a little bit more. And I want to bring whites up a little bit and maybe darks down. Darks down is going to make her fur a little bit darker. The whites is going to help this whiter color in her fur pop out a little bit more. I probably should have pulled that blanket out of the way, because that, personally, that looks bad. Something else too, this picture is actually it's in an AMW format, and when I'm finished editing it, it's going to convert to a JPEG. When it converts to a JPEG, it's going to bring it down to smaller megapixels, which is actually going to make the picture look a lot better. This is more spread out and wide, so I'm able to see a lot more. And when I transfer it over, it will change. So I can come over here to my color mixer. I'm actually gonna pull up saturation, maybe just a little teeny bit. Really make these colors pop on her. I'm actually gonna come over to orange because I don't have a brown, and I'm just gonna kind of tweak around with these. See, if I pull this over here, that makes it look really brown, and that kind of makes it look lighter brown by pulling it up there. They are lighter brown. So I'm probably going to pull it up here to the higher part, saturation, pull it up a little bit, and you can see those colors on her ear and on her leg are really starting to pop now. She doesn't have red. Probably mess around with red a little bit. That might change. Nah, that's not going to do anything. So yeah, so with the orange, I was able to kind of tweak it with the brown. And obviously I don't have white for one, so we're just gonna kind of leave that there. You know what, come to think of it, this couch is actually brown too. I'm not gonna mess with that one because that didn't do what I wanted it to do. So yeah, if I pull saturation up a little bit, it kind of makes that couch look a lot better also. So I'm actually pretty satisfied with that picture right there. I wasn't going for anything super crazy, but you know, I've got a good picture of her, made her colors pop out a little bit more. And then, like I said, when I convert this into a JPEG format, it is going to make those megapixels smaller, and I'll be able to see it better. So this is actually my third picture here. I actually went and set my tripod outside, and I set it up and got a picture of the moon. And like I said, it was just so dark outside. Really, just like picture quality goes really down in picture, because I was like, first off, I don't have a crazy lens to actually take a picture of the moon, so I had to do a long exposure for this. But this one, I could pretty much, you know, I could just kind of trim it up a little bit to kind of take out that extra stuff. That kind of really, I don't know. So for this, we're actually going to come down to masking, or noise reduction and masking. Really going to turn these up to try to, because as you can see this picture, we got like kind of like the purple going on here, all these megapixel stuff's going here. I pretty much was only able to take this picture of my camera. So if I pull up noise reduction, it does take away those megapixels, but it does make my moon look pretty blurry. So really, this picture, there's not really too much. So if I sharpen it too, I can sharpen it just a little bit, and that kind of shows the craters and stuff a lot more in the moon. But since it is so far away and stuff like that, if I want a more detailed picture of the moon, I definitely would have to get a much bigger and better lens than which I currently have. So that is my tutorial. I'm going to actually post in the after pictures here in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was just some very basic information. I hope you guys followed on. Maybe could have learned something. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.